Pleasing God requires your cooperation. So then, my beloved, just as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God who is at work in you, both to will and to work for his good pleasure. Philippians 2:12 through 13. The salvation that we are commanded to work out in this passage is obviously not the state of the soul after death. God has already worked that out for us. The directive to work out our salvation or bring it to completion addresses our responsibility to actively participate in the work of progressive sanctification. So to please God, you must, by faith, do what the Bible says is necessary to grow as a Christian. At the risk of overstating my case, let me suggest that it is not usually necessary to wait for the Spirit to move you before you obey the Bible. Sure, you should pray, asking God for wisdom to do what the Bible says and the grace to do it. You should also be sure that your motives are right. And there are times when seeking counsel on how to proceed may be beneficial. But waiting for God to zap you with an infusion of grace from heaven rather than acting in faith, which you will remember is our first requirement for pleasing God, and doing what God has already given you the wisdom to do often amounts to delayed obedience. It is often only after we step out in faith and do the things that the Bible requires, having first been given the wisdom of God, that this grace to will and work, this supernatural desire to and ability to obey becomes operative in our lives.